What is up, you guys? It is Jake State Farm here with Atomic Theory, back with another Atomic Chess video. And in today's video, we have round 5 out of 8 for the Atomic 960 tournament. We are going to be playing on board 1 in this round against Nitro Colorways, aka Leisha. And this is by far the most important match that I have had so far. So just to kind of walk you through it, if I win this match, I'll be a full point ahead of second place, and then between rounds 6 through 8, I can probably afford to lose one more round and still win the tournament. So I should have a good shot of winning the whole thing if I'm able to win this round. Like for instance, Natso, who was the tournament favorite coming into it, is only on 2.5. So like say even if I lost to him, he would still be a half point behind me. So I would just need to win. I think 2 out of my last 3. I know my tiebreakers are good. I'm not sure how the head-to-head thing works, if I did lose to like Study or RK, but I think I'd be okay. I should be able to win if I can take down Leisha here. Whereas if Leisha wins, he moves to 4.5, so he'll be in clear first place, and then I can still definitely win the tournament. I'll be a half point behind first. But my fate is in another man's hands, right? I can win all my games and still lose the tournament if Leisha wins out as well. So one other thing to note is that Leisha has had a really good tournament so far. So he won round 1, and then he drew against Max in round 2, and then Max quit the tournament, and then he beat Raychester, which I mean, Raychester is a very strong player. I don't know how strong he is in 960. And then last round he took down Natso. And there was I saw one game. I was kind of looking over his games yesterday. There was one game where Leisha got a mate in 2 against Natso, from move 1. He pushed a pawn, and then Natso pushed a random pawn, and then it was mate in 2. And so that's one thing that I do want to keep my eye out for this match. The other thing is Leisha has played probably 20 to 30 practice games against Wolfram since his match against Natso. So I think Leisha's in really good form, whereas myself, I haven't really had time to play at all. So this is definitely not only the most important match, but I think it will be my hardest match up until this point as well. Leisha's already a very strong player. He's, qualified for the chess.com qualifiers or finals the last 2 years. He, I believe he was 3rd at the AWC one year, which is actually better than I've ever done. So, even though recently he's kind of just getting back into it, in standard atomic chess, I'm able to do quite well against him. 960, he may be in a bit better form than me, so really my goals going into this match are stop his early queen attacks, because he likes to do that quite a bit. I want to stay ahead on the clock. That's a big thing right there. I've noticed that some openings he just takes quite a bit of time, so staying ahead on the clock is huge in 960, because the middle to late game, there's a lot of patterns that neither player will recognize, so it's very important to me to stay ahead on the clock, and I feel like I've done that for most of my matches, to be honest. And then really just playing my game as the white side. If I can win every white game, which is easier said than done in 960, but if I can do that, then I'll at least get a draw. And then if I draw him, I'll still be in clear first place. So a draw definitely still favors me, even if I don't have as much wiggle room as a win. But I'm happy to get a match draw instead of a loss. So anyway, we'll see. I think this match is going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to really test me. And here we go. Let's get set up here with the timer. Alright, and here we are. We are the white pieces. Let's go ahead and message him, and then I'll start this 30-second timer. Okay, so already some ideas of this, although it seems pretty easy to cut off. I also see knight e3, and there's no way to push a pawn to pin this knight. I think I'm going to go for this. he has no bishops. Like, actually, knight on an e3, you can't pin either way. But like sometimes, say I put a knight here, and my king was here. That's a bad example too. Like, like if I'm moving my knight here and my king was here or something, then he could push this pawn and pin the knight or something, or even like push this pawn and attack this pawn, forcing me to do something like this, and then he could take. But in this case, he has no way to block my knight here. Oh my gosh, he's already over 30 seconds here. Okay, I won't complain about it, I guess, but it's pretty early on to already be over 30 seconds. So okay, I want to play b4 just to stop his queen from getting out here. Just let him know. Okay. Just don't want it to be it's totally fine if it happens once, but I don't know what the rules are. The rules just say if you go over 30, like don't go over 30 seconds. I don't know if you're supposed to forfeit the game, or I don't think so, but I'm not sure what the procedure is. Okay, let's try to get our head back in the game here, though. So, knight d5 is a big threat, potentially, although it's not clear if I have anything. This is what I always kind of do in 960, is I like to get my bishops out. You notice I'm coming here with a tempo. So I'm pushing these pawns up, trying to gain space, cutting off his bishops. I like to do this when the bishops are both like right next to each other like this. Okay. I kind of like f4 here. The question is after like f4, if he takes here, I'm not upset about that at all. The question is f4, knight h4. What do I have there? Maybe g3 could also be the move. Oh, I actually like this. g3, he could come here, and then I could just trade my dark squared bishop off. I think I'd rather have my light squared bishop right now hitting this. The dark squared bishop's kind of already cut off. Yeah, if he goes knight f4, I'll just take. It's opening up my rook, opening up my queen. I'd really love to see knight f4. I'm sure he'll go knight e5 instead, and then I just think I pretty much just have to take here, which is too bad. I'd like to... Another downside of this move actually is that it does block in this knight. But oh well. I guess I could also just not take the knight, right? When he comes here, I could just take with the pawn. So maybe knight e5, I go knight f5 actually. Hitting g7, and if he comes here, takes, then I'll have something like queen e2. Which after knight e6, I actually can't take here. Okay, he just goes for this instead. I'm pretty happy. I'm sure I'll go g5 or g6. But overall, I think I'm pretty happy to see this. g6 is probably what he has to do. Interesting. Am I just losing this, eh? Okay, I just completely missed that. Alright, well played to my opponent. I don't think I have anything there. That's too bad. Alright, here we go. Like I said, man, those early queen attacks, that might be my quickest loss of the whole tournament right there. So let's get our head on straight. It's unclear what he was trying to say about the 30 seconds there, so I want to just get my head right and not think about it at all. But of course, if it happens again, I think something will need to be done for sure. Okay, so he just starts off with e3. What's the problem with e6? Because even after queen b5, I'll have knight c6 here, and I can potentially go queen b4. So I think this works fine. Queen b5, I'll play knight c6. Okay, so I'm thinking this stops everything because queen c4 doesn't come with any threats. Queen d3, I think I have queen d6. And queen b5, I'll have knight c6. And after queen g5, then I think I'm good. It's always scary with the queen. There's so many threats. Maybe I should play this way more. But this is not the style that I've ever used. I've always tried to get my bishops and knights out in the opening. But this is something that he does. I looked at a lot of his games with Wolfram. And really, if you stop his early queen attacks, you have a solid chance of winning. It seems like Wolfie was able to beat him most of the time, just so as long as he was able to stop the early queen attack. That's really what it comes down to, though. It's unclear if I'll be able to hold for a draw here. Like, after queen g5, I pretty much have to go queen b4. And then after knight c3, maybe I have pawn f6 there. I was thinking queen g4 and takes, but maybe queen g5, I just go queen b4, and then if knight c3, f6, and if c3, then I'm very happy to trade queens off. I'll be the one with the knight out, and he doesn't. The problem is, like, in that resulting position, if I were to go queen g4 after knight c3, then he's the first one to come in, and if there's a trade here, it seems like he'll always be a step ahead. Like, he could be first to play b4, which comes with the tempo here, so then I have to respond to that, so it could just get scary. But yeah, look at him taking. This is what happens. He's looking for some early win in the opening. Maybe he was considering queen b7 there. I'm not sure. But to be honest, I think I'm going to be okay with this. If I can get his queen off the board, I feel pretty confident. In this particular position, I think after takes, I would have knight f4. And if takes, I'll have queen d6 there. But yeah, in general, against Leisha, I'll be happy for a move like this. I don't see like a guaranteed way to necessarily get the material back. But if I'm the one with the queen on the board and he doesn't, then I'll just hope to break through somehow. Knight f4 is what I'm looking at. Let's say he goes g3. Okay, he just takes that off. Interesting. Now maybe I do want to consider b6 after queen g5. I do have this move queen d6, queen f4, and then takes, which I don't see. I'm always hesitant to let him keep his queen on the board here, or really to encourage him to keep his queen on the board. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for this. I don't see a way to really stop this. The only thing he may have is like he could start with queen d5. Actually, queen d5. Well, I would have just taken it. Maybe like queen g5, queen d6, then he could have gone back to d5. But I guess both of us missed that there. I think I really need to get my queen out. It's a question of how I want to do it. g6 is a nice move too because it sets up potential castling ideas without his queen being able to come over here. Obviously g6, I'm looking at 94. Okay, let's go queen b4. Let's go queen b4. He still may go 94. But this way, like, maybe queen d5, but then takes, and my bishop's opened up. I don't see a good way for him to threaten mate. Like, queen h5, I still have g6. I guess maybe there's queen h6 there. But either way, then at least this knight's unpinned. Right now he's got a nice clamp on. Yeah, and he does go for this. I'm guessing we'll see queen h6, and then I do just end up interesting going for this instead. Maybe I had to go like f6 here. Yeah, I think there's also castles. But then when c takes, this rook is... coming down here. I'm also tempted to go queen takes here, actually. I think I will do this. I don't see a way for his queen to really get in. Again, queen h6, I'll just castle queen side. Now, I actually want to keep this c pawn here. So it's blocking his knight and it's blocking his rook. Okay. He does have queen f8 here. And after takes, he's up material, but just gotta live with that. Oh my gosh, he actually can't move his knight here. This is so funny. But he can castle, unfortunately, for me. I guess it makes sense to go ahead and make this move. Wow, that's actually really tough to stop. I don't think I realized the power of it when I played that move. Okay. Now I should be good. Question is f5 or not f5? I want to block this pawn so I can... Oh, wait. He can't push it anyway because of this bishop. I was trying to block this pawn from pushing so I can open up my rook here, but... Alright. And we tie it up 1-1. There we go. Just stop the early queen attack and we should be good. Okay, now let's see. We know that he's going to go for something like d3, so we need to calculate this already and see if there's anything here. I don't really see too much here. After f6. I'm just gonna make the move that he would make though. And if it is for some reason winning, I think this is a good strategy for me because he may show me a good defense or he may show me that it's just completely crushing for white. Either way, I want to go ahead and make this move. The only thing I saw was f6. I can go queen e3. And if he pushes this pawn, then I could go queen c5 check and take on c7. So this move was actually probably the right idea. Which also opens up this bishop here. Which I still maybe have queen e3. I could try, but this is just not my style at all. The thing is, queen e3 does threaten queen c5 and queen f3. Let's just go for it. Let's just see what happens. Like, knight f6 is maybe a move here. Okay, he goes for this instead. Oh, after queen f3, he can block with queen f5. I see. Now maybe knight f3 is the move. But knight f3, then there's queen g4. Okay. I'd love to somehow get pressure on this pawn, but there's not an easy way to do this with my pawn on b3. Or d3, rather. Actually, he's just threatening queen g4 in general, so I think I just have to go for this. I mean, at least we'll get the queens off the board here. So, I know there's not going to be any early queen attacks from him. I mean, there's no way he's considering knight f6, right? I think I can just take there. Or, like, at the very least, like, I have queen f5 or something. Like, queen f5 should be the only move because I'm hitting this. So, I don't know what he's considering here. I guess maybe f5 takes and takes. But, yeah, I'm up material there. I'm just going to take it. I could go for something like d4 or something, but now we're in a relatively equal position where he's probably slightly better. And we just gotta win this. I think if maybe this should be the goal for this match. If we can get the queens off the board early, like I said before, like I really do like my chances in these positions. And I could totally lose this. Like, Leisha is a strong player, but I just noticed against Wolfie, he loves to do early queen attacks. And then if they fail, then Wolfie was generally able to win, which, again, Wolfie is your 2026 champion. So maybe I shouldn't be comparing myself to him, but I do have quite a bit more 960 experience than he does. Okay. I understand this, but now I'm the one keeping this pin. In fact, I could even go rook c1 here. Potential for b5. If it takes, the only thing I have to be scared about is here and then bishop a5. And then after, well, no, it's not scary anyway because I could just move this knight. Okay, Okay, but I don't really want to play b5 because this bishop can come to a5, so I have to start with a5, and then I can play b5. If knight a6, I can take multiple ways. Oh, this is also technically opening up bishop a4 for me, although I probably would need to play b4, or b5, b6 first. But yeah, if I can get this 2-to-1 advantage over here, I actually feel pretty confident, and there's no ideas of this. I can even go knight b3 here. Or does it make sense to do something on the king side? I like knight b3. It kind of blocks in this bishop here. Maybe the only move I need to be scared of is bishop b1 here, because now my bishop can't get out. Okay, goes for this, but now I have bishop a4. So I'm at least getting some material back here, surely. I think I want to start with bishop a4, because now there's no longer bishop takes a5 here. So he thought that he had just won a, what was it? Yeah, I won my knight, but if knight f6, I'll at least be able to take here at the end. Ooh, and threatening bishop d4 there. I guess he can also castle, but yeah, same thing, rook c7, and then just takes. And if knight c7, I'll just take there. So I don't think he's threatening too much after. I'm trying to see this resulting position after f takes e5, after knight f6. I think I'm okay there, though. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and go for this. Now we're back to equal material. We have this little advantage over here. Our pawn is on the 5th rank. His is on his 3rd rank. Yeah, bishop d4 is a big threat. He could start with bishop d5, but mine actually comes with a mate threat, which is nice. Whereas since my g-pawn's already pushed, there's no mate threat. Okay, maybe he'll go bishop f6. Interesting, goes for that instead. I do also have bishop b3 that I could play right now if I want to. I could also take here. Yeah, let's just do some of this. Let's just start getting rid of some of his pieces. I don't know the best way to play necessarily, but I know if I can get rid of all his pieces, then I'm pretty happy. Although after g takes, is he considering d5 here? Interesting, okay. I do have to be a little bit worried about this f-pawn rolling down the board. f4, castles f3, and it's looking like... Oh wait, actually that's really strong. I have to play knight f3. Because castle is f3. If I push the e-pawn, there's f2, which forks my king and knight. But actually, I just feel so confident in this position. Okay, wow. I kind of got lucky there. I'm missing all of his ideas, really, but I still had to play knight f3 no matter what. Because I would have had knight e5 as well. Okay. I could go for knight h5, knight h7. I guess I'll do this, just creating some threat here. Also wanting to get this pawn off the board. Yeah, I think e4 makes the most sense, putting pressure here to open up his bishop. He can't take it, and he also can't go king h8 because of my bishop. Now I can go knight f6 after rook takes, pawn takes. I don't love that. So what? I can't go there either. I don't know what I'm thinking. Let's go bishop g7. I think knight f6 idea, and then there's king f7. But then I could maybe push this pawn up. Let's see what happens here. He might decide to just get the heck out of dodge with his rook. Yeah. After takes, he's got to go knight there. Maybe I want to push and get this pawn on e6, because then this is mate. Okay. Can't be too slow here. Okay. Probably made a mistake with bishop f8 there. Yeah, actually this is rough now. thing is, I don't think his knight's ever getting in here. So I think it's just a draw. Because my bishop can cut this off. But then am I losing? I think I can hold for a perpetual. But it's kind of unclear. Either way, he should go for this. There's really no reason not to. Yeah, he's trying to somehow find a way to hide here. Yeah, it looks like he got me there. All right, well played. Man, I had a really good position there out of the late opening there, and he really outplayed me there. He played very well. I thought I had a good position with like bishop d4. It seemed like I was really the only one playing for a win, but then he was able to get his rook behind that pawn. Okay, he goes for d3 as well. I mean, I think it's just e5, right? I don't see anything else here. Yeah, I'm just gonna copy him here. I mean, I know f6 doesn't work. There's queen e3, and there's a or wait, no, why was f6 bad? Yeah, there's queen e3 and then queen c5. So I know it can be f6. e5 makes a lot of sense because you're also hitting this. Okay. So getting his bishop out. But I can play d5 here. I don't have to respond to his threat. I'll probably go g4, cutting off my queen. And then I'll have options. I can either go knight b6, or I can play d4. Okay, makes sense. I mean, I do kind of like d4 here. Then my bishop gets opened up behind this pawn chain. And closing up the position like this should help against early queen attacks. Although, I need to be wary of this. I guess I have f5, but I also have bishop h4 as a resource. He could blunder like knight f3. Could be a funny blunder, although I guess he had king e1 there at the end. Yeah, he played really well that last game. I thought for sure I'd have him because he was down on the clock and down on the position. But once he got that rook behind that pawn, my knight only had 2 squares to get out, and both of them were kind of blocked by the rook. So I probably should have played that better if I had thought ahead and played bishop f6 instead of bishop f8. I'm thinking that's definitely where I went wrong. But it's all right. Well, maybe he's trying to develop the bishop this way. But it seems like I'd have like bishop h4 there to cut that off. Okay, makes sense. I am looking at some long-term ideas of f takes e and then queen c6 could be really powerful. There's also something to be said for starting with queen c6, although knight b3. I think he wants to go b4 here. So like takes b4. I want to just get out this way as soon as possible. I think I'm just going to go for this. Let's just go for it. He's got to do something to stop queen c6 here. Like if he tries to go on the aggression with something like say bishop g4, then just queen c6, and then he's got to go back here. And there's even potential for like e4 to cut off bishop f3 here. This is one of those examples where I just want to save time. I don't want to calculate all of his moves because he's got a bunch of different moves he can play here. Even f5 is a pretty reasonable move to stop queen c6, some of the fun I get, but then it opens up bishop g5. This just feels right, and the other thing that this does is if I can play bishop d5 with the tempo, then castling can come really quickly. That's kind of what I was looking at there at the end. It's like even if he does play b4, which stops queen c6, I can go bishop d5, and then he's got to take this way, right? If he takes this way, then I still have queen c6, I think. But no matter how he takes, then I can just castle. And I'm feeling pretty happy there. Okay, giving me queen c6. It's very interesting. So I can even start with bishop h4 here. Now this is really strange. What am I missing? Queen c6, bishop here, takes. Knight here. It just all seems good. Let's start with this. Okay, goes for knight f3. Oh man, this queen sack almost works. I can almost take here. Takes bishop d5, takes and castles, but then there's queen f4 at the end. Okay, now I like queen c6. But it still technically doesn't work, I guess. Okay, gotta make a move fast here. I guess let's just go for this idea. He does have f takes, but I'll have castles here, pinning the knight. I guess that's kind of what he was going for with this move as well. But takes, castles, and then bishop takes. This may be a mistake. Bishop d5 was probably wrong. I just couldn't find the right idea there. Queen c6. There's b4, and there's like no immediate threat here. Yeah, okay, I've definitely got to move my queen. Yeah, I've considered this. It's really just a matter of, can I do this? Oh, there would have been some knight tricks there. Yeah, now I don't feel comfortable because now he's the one that's like a slow move like castles is really good here. Yeah, and he finds it. Okay, but then we get to castle. Actually, he probably should have started with this. Now it's just going to be a time scramble here, and I've got to sack the queen. There's no other choice, I don't think. Oh, oof. That is rough. All right. Down 3-1. This is the first time I've been down, maybe for the whole tournament, but at least down more than one game for sure. Okay. Again, like my philosophy is just to go e3 here, or sorry, not to play e3, but I'm saying that's what I think he'll do. So I'm just gonna use the strategy of just mirror what I think he's gonna play. I guess I'd probably rather be the player starting with the black pieces in this situation, this particular situation. But if I start with e3, because I think he's going to play this as well, then I'll be able to see if his defense actually works or not. And once again, he's got this nice pawn push to defend a lot of what I'm trying to do and also stop queen b5 here. So that move is very annoying. And it also cuts off his bishop. Yeah, d5 is such a good move here. He can go bishop a4, but I think I have mate after queen b5, bishop takes, knight c5, and then knight a6 with a double attack here. Okay, going for this, obviously d4 makes sense because it's a move I want to play anyway. We do run into the problem that now bishop a4 may work because after queen b4 takes, there's no longer knight c5 because he's got bishop takes d4. So So just need to keep that in mind. I don't think there's any other way to win there. Like if you start knight a4 and b6, there's nowhere this knight can hop to get a guaranteed mate. So I'm also looking at this move g3. Looks really interesting. It opens up the queen and the bishop. And there's maybe ideas for c4. I don't fully understand this move. I guess he was trying to stop knight a5 and b6 didn't really work, but this move is also very weakening. It's stopping bishop a4, it's stopping knight b6. Even knight c6 doesn't really come with a sting. Because after here I can just take. Okay, this is getting dangerous for him now. e4 actually. With queen f3 ideas. I don't see any mates here. So I think we're good on that front. He can start with this, but then I'll have c3. But yeah, I'm threatening queen h3 now, and this e-pawn is going to help me break through this way. I wanted to play c4, which is kind of the same thing. If I go c4 here, he maybe could go e4 and clamp down, and there's no queen h3, and I'm never going to really be able to stop f5. So this way, it keeps a lot of threats in the position, threatening f5 and d5. This is very powerful. And I can take here, and it's always going to come with a tempo. If he tries to stop this, I'll just have queen h3 there. Which, looking at this, is not like completely... Oh, I think it is. It's step knight e6. I can go takes. Queen f5 takes. Yeah, I've got this bishop pointing at d5 there. So if I were him, like either g5 or f5, I think are the moves. I guess that move makes sense as well. It's just now your bishop is occupying this, so there's potential to get it overworked here. Okay, so immediately I'm looking at this. I'm thinking surely he'll play c6. And I want to come here, but then there's takes. And it does come with a tempo as well. So I've got to be careful about that. I guess c3 makes a lot of sense, actually. It's just a move to kind of go ahead and stop this bishop. But if I have something more forcing I'd like to play, I just don't see anything. So I think I've got to go c3. He'll probably respond with c6. And it's tricky. I don't know how I want to continue to progress here. This move might actually end up making some sense, even though it's a move that I would never play. Also, bishop h3 is an idea. So I guess I kind of have to cut that off with like g4. This queen is still on this line as well, but unfortunately not doing too much. He is kind of, at least for now, trapped on the queen side, which is nice. Oh yeah, also I need to be wary of queen h6. How long has he had these ideas? Only since I played e4. Like, could he not have gone for queen h6 there? I don't know. I completely missed that. Okay, no reason to look at it now, but I need to totally just like blind to this idea here. He may have had something there at some point. Okay, finally a pawn gets taken in the middle here. e5 opens up knight c5, so for that reason I'm going to go for this move. I'm still stopping queen h6 with g5. Yeah, this blocks off his bishop even more, and also threatens e6. Alright, let's try not to throw away another game here. I feel like I've been winning, except for the first game where I lost really quickly. Feels like I've been better every single game. And maybe not that last one either. I don't really remember how that one went, to be honest, but this feels like a nice position. He's got to defend knight c5, and I am threatening e6 as well. Okay, and that's how he wants to do it. There's a question of, can I just take here, though? After queen here, don't think I want to do that. This also takes here. Oh yeah, let's go for this. Because that bishop's not too strong anyway with these pawns lined up like this. Okay, I don't think he saw my idea. Maybe he did. That was just his plan to deal with it. Alright, there we go. We do need to win one of these next two black games, though. The nice thing is, if he goes for e3, d5 seemed to be like a really good defense against that. Like, I think I would just play d5 immediately. Because, okay, interesting. Going for e4 instead. This looks really weird, but e5 maybe even works here. I don't know if d4 worked or not, but no matter what, if he goes to one of these squares, I can always just mirror with the queen. Which is why I wanted to get my queen out. And if queen b5, something like c6, and this e-pawn cuts off him from coming this way. Oh wait, no, it's just double attacking. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I hung that. That's embarrassing. That's what I said, man. I gotta stop the early queen attacks. He's really good at them. I mean, he goes for it every game. And it works. I mean, I think this is the best strategy, to just mirror what I think he's gonna play. And try to see if there's maybe some defense to it. Mixing it up with e4 last game was a nice idea, except for d5. It's unclear if that really honestly changed anything or not, but it was at least enough difference to throw me off a little bit. Okay, once again he's over 30 seconds here. This is okay. This is, I just need to say. I don't know what the procedure is here, but if it's happening more than once in a match, I don't know. All right, I guess I'm going to cut here and... All right, so he's just going to... I appreciate that. He's just counting it as his loss, which I respect the sportsmanship there. That's very good sportsmanship. Okay, so e6, queen d3. I think it's got to be something like e6. Interesting that he went for c4 instead of c3, because it's allowing ideas of bishop b4 here. Okay, cuts it off with b4. So for the moment we can relax. There's not going to be any super early queen attacks. I want to go c5, but then there's bishop e5 there. So that's tough to say. Also, knight f6 makes some sense. Yeah, this actually, I like this a lot. The more I can just like force him to push these pawns. Maybe, I mean, this is maybe just the meta in 960 is just to try to get your queen out as soon as possible. And it's try to make it tough for your opponent to defend. Again, I've never played that way before, so it's surprising to me. Now I can go c5. After bishop e5, I'll have d6. The question is, c5 doesn't really do as much anymore. But let's do it, because if he ever takes, I will still have bishop b4. Although I guess the one idea would be bishop e5, d6, and then takes, which I didn't really fully consider. For the moment, I would have b5. Okay. That's a smart move because I was threatening 94 takes and then queen f4. Yeah, I think I want to get this bishop out as well. Go ahead and push this pawn. Like if he takes one way or the other, I want to have the other pawn pushed. If he took, I don't really want it to come with a tempo here on b7. All right, having this e pawn here is nice because he won't really have any bishop h3 ideas. In fact, I may have some of these ideas. And if he tries to push with f4, then I'll have knight g4. So he may need to go something like g4 here. But he can't because then I've got queen f4 there. So I actually really like this. In fact, there's a case to be made to just go ahead and play it here. So bishop is hitting this diagonal, but okay. He's really changed his approach here, not going for the early queen attack. I mean, obviously at the beginning he was with c4, but yeah. Okay, goes for h3 instead. That makes sense. But now I will be the one to get over here first. I like this move, hitting this, so like after bishop h6 and f4, I can just take it. He can start with f4, but then I can go bishop h6, and okay, yeah, it looks like I'm breaking through somehow here. He's got queen takes here. He may go for that. No, he goes for this instead. He can't castle. I'm definitely getting through somehow. I'm not sure how strong it is, but it seems pretty good, right? Like c2, I have bishop here and bishop here to go up some material. The question is if I even want to go for that. I mean, this clamp here is got to be pretty annoying to deal with, I would think. Okay, this looks like a nice way to open up the position. Getting my bishop out, and if he goes d5, I'll have c4 with queen b6 ideas coming in. And again, I can always throw in this in-between move as well if I want to. I've also got castle's queenside here that I didn't really consider, but actually this move I guess doesn't work as well as I thought, because then there's just rook takes. Yeah, castle's queenside makes a lot of sense as well. I mean, my original plan was to go c4. But queenside castles, and he really doesn't want to push this pawn because I still have bishop f3 there, which is just so strong. And if he takes here, I've got bishop c3 with the threat of taking. So like takes, bishop c3, he can take, but then I'll always be the one coming in with a tempo here after e takes d. So this is a little less solid than what I was going for with c4, but I think it actually just works. He's got no pieces that he can put in front. I'm blocking all of his pieces on this file right now. And so really the only idea is d6, and then I can take it. Maybe he can also move his king, or maybe there's some weird knight f3, or like, yeah, something like this. But certainly I should have something here. Also a5 with queen a7 ideas. It's a little slow though, it's a little slow. So maybe I should try queen c7. Well, I have to say there are some downsides to queen c7 as well. It's actually quite tricky. It's not clear at all. d6, I'll go queen d7. Yeah, that's the other move I was considering. And we can trade all this off here, yeah. He still may go d6 here, and then queen d7. This may no longer be good for me. All right. If takes, I'll always still have bishop d5. I want to get my king off of this file so this bishop's activated. Oh my gosh. Surely I have some kind of mate here now. Okay. So, I mean, this is, I guess, a little bit of controversy. I mean, he said that he'll just forfeit the second game when he went over. But, so I guess for now the match is a draw because he went, the rule just says you have 30 seconds to make your first move. So he went over that limit the first game, and, you know, he went over the limit the first game, and he didn't know about the rule, but then he went over it a second time by a decent bit. I mean, really, I don't think it matters if it's 1 second or 10 seconds. So I think the ruling will stand. I mean, I don't want to be that guy that gets a draw off of a technicality there. Like, I'm certainly willing to play another white game if I need to. I'm not trying to get a cheap win or anything. But also, like, the rule does exist. It is on the players to know that the rule exists. But even if you give them a grace period on the first game there, the second time it happened, it's he definitely knew about the rule, and it would still, my phone showed 36. I think I paused it a little late, but either way, it was way over. So I appreciate his sportsmanship, being willing to just forfeit that second game. But it is a big deal to people saying, if you're watching this, saying like, oh, just replay it. Like, well, you have to set the cap somewhere, because say somebody is consistently taking 35 seconds as opposed to me, who takes around 20 to 25, because I look down, I see that it's at about 25, and I say, okay, I need to go ahead and make a move. It's not worth it for me to calculate anything else at this point, because I don't want to change my move. I just need to go ahead and decide on the move. So it ends up being a big difference. Right? Like, if you had 10 minutes to study this position as opposed to 30 seconds, you'd see much different strategies. Like, I would be able to calculate so much. So, like, obviously you have to set the cap somewhere. In like an arena tournament, you'll forfeit the game if you don't make a move in the required amount of time. So, I mean, it's, was he completely winning this or not? I mean, it's, that's what I'll say about that, is that it is a big difference. And if there's some kind of, the problem is you have to set the limit somewhere. It doesn't specifically say in there forfeit your game. It doesn't specifically say that you have to forfeit the game if you don't. It just says both players should. And it is a big difference. I think that, it's right here. Each participant must make their first move within 30 seconds. So, I mean, it is a really big deal. If you have unlimited time to think, then you can calculate way more than you can in 30 seconds. And if you're willing to say, okay, fine, 30 seconds, but we'll give you a grace period of 5 seconds as well, well, then why don't you get another grace period of 5 seconds? Like, at some point, you do have to set the cap and say, this is the hard, you can't go over this. Really, in fact, I'm not going to claim a win, but you could even make the claim that because he went over in the first game as well, that two games, like, we only played 7 because he gave me a free win on the 7th game. But really, the first game, he also went over once again, which it is just such a big difference. Like, in this case, it's only a few seconds difference, but that can make a world of difference in 960, because the first move is the most important. What I wish is that your clock just started going off of the first move. Unfortunately, it's not programmed to be that way, and so Pure has to go in and set a time. But I wish it was just your clock would just start at 3 minutes, just boom, start as soon as you hit your move. And then, you can take as long as you want, but the first move, like, really is the most important, like, especially against a player that gets their queen out on move 1 every time. It is just so crucial to be able to try and calculate all the different possibilities. So anyway, all that to say, I feel a little bad. I wanted to abort the game because I didn't want it to show up as in the moment. I was thinking if I don't abort and I just tell him in chat, then it's easy for him to make another move after 30 seconds. And then at that point, if I play out the game and Pure says, if I play out the game and I lose and then I try to go back and complain, it looks really bad. So I was like, let me just abort and we'll let Pure make the decision on what to do here. I think it's fine to give me a win, or it's fine to make us replay it. Either way, Leisha was kind enough to give me the win there, but it's also kind of a technicality. So we'll see what Pure ends up doing. But for now, I guess the match is a draw. It was really fun. It was also stressful. Like, he just these early queen attacks, I'm just not very good at defending them. I guess he had a mate and 2 against me here. Like, yeah, it's just, I think I probably could have still gone d5 here. I was thinking about it. Okay, wow, even knight b6. I would have never really considered this move. Yeah, anyway. Alright, but that's going to do it for this video. I guess once you see round 6, you'll know. But according to the current standings, I guess I'm still in first place. We'll find out what Pure decides. It'll be a super fun match. Well played to my opponent. He is a very strong player. And yeah, appreciate y'all's support, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.